I was 14 years old when I started wrenching and racing on cars, and I opened up my first automotive shop at 17, and I started road racing when I was 18, and then I worked with Bob Bondurant and with the Ford team with Mercoeur doing testing and giving input to the engineers on the Mercoeur. And then I worked through the years with the Ford Mustang team in the 80s and the 90s and into 2000, making the car better and faster. And we were the first company with the number 20 car for the 95 Cobra R to ever win a race, a production race for Ford in over a decade. And we lapped the entire field 2 times in a 6-hour race, and that's lapping the second place car, which was never ever done in an IMSA Grand Am race ever. And we did it with a 95 Cobra R. And we were proud of that, and people couldn't believe it, but we spent thousands of hours tuning that car and just making it perfect and learning the strategy to accomplish that goal. So the enthusiasm here at STEEDA is as strong, if not stronger, now than it was back then in the 90s. Yeah, I don't know the exact year, but my grandfather started with Ford in the early 1900s, and then when my father got out of the Navy, he went to work at Ford, and then he went to the Ford Tech Center, went to school and worked his way up to be one of the top design engineers at Ford. And when I was a young kid in Dearborn, even when I was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, I just loved the fact, I was so proud that my father worked for Ford Motor Company, and the cars that he would bring home were just unbelievable. And to go to different parts of the facility and the design studio in Dearborn was just fascinating for me, so it always stayed in my blood. And I said, one day I want to work with the OE or the automotive industry, and here we are today. Yeah, well, he was, my dad was instrumental, with the Ford GT program back in the early 60s with Alex Tremulous, and also he did the Alexis, which was one of the concept vehicles that they used when they sent to California for the Batmobile. So he was involved in that with California back then. And then he was instrumental with the interior design appointments of the 64.5 Mustang. So we have Mustang in our blood all the way through. So he was, quite instrumental in a lot of things with Ford that helped Ford's success today, absolutely. The relationship with Ford has been great. When we first started in '88, they were wondering how STEEDA was going to destroy the car, but instead they found out how STEEDA was improving the car. And we worked, constantly, almost on a daily basis in the early days with Ford engineering to take the Fox body to the next level, and then going into the SN95 and, the S197s, we were very instrumental in the development of those vehicles with Ford engineering. And then once Ford moved into the S550, they were they went a different direction, and we were just continuing to work independently of them on this next generation vehicle. And we continue to do so and share information. And like we've set several quarter-mile records with the new S550 with just direct bolt-on parts. We have our road race car turn-in lap times of supercars today. We're going to continue to benchmark and to take the vehicle to the next level. Well, today at STEEDA, we're testing and driving and engineering 24 hours, 7 days a week. When everybody's sleeping, we're still working, and I love it. I mean, we have such a great team in Valdosta and in Florida, 2 tech groups. We critique each other. I mean, we're into suspension and shock tuning and vehicle dynamics like nobody's ever seen. I mean, we get into the critical of jounce bumpers that, with the durometer, we do different elastomers, we do foam, we do different spring rates. Hey, we're the only company to first come out with a dual rate spring that we learned from Winston Cup racing, from the most advanced suspension spring engineers in the world. And everybody's looking at us like, does STEEDA really know what they're doing? And yes, we do. I mean, our street cars are faster than performance built on track cars substantially, and they're using dual rate springs. Well, how can you prove it? Well, look at the lap times. We're 2 to 3 seconds a lap faster than everybody else, plus the purpose-built race cars. And the dual rate spring is so cool because it rolls into the secondary rate in roll, and it's a 2-stage spring, it really keeps the car planted and flatter through the corners. And with that being said, you can use less of a roll bar, roll stiffness and things like that. And it just makes the car easier to drive, and it hooks up, as you can look through all the past videos with Glenn Vitale driving the 20 car, where we reel in the purpose-built GT2 cars that are purpose-built Mustangs with 600 horsepower. They pull us down the straightaway, and then we just grab them under braking and cornering. I mean, we've been doing that for the last year or two, and that car is all on our dual rate springs. You take our street car, and it's faster than the other available Mustangs out there by 2 or 3 seconds a lap faster for $30,000 or $40,000 less. It has to say something. So our team, we love what we do, and we're constantly looking to take the car always to the next level without increasing NVH or making the car not acceptable or a pleasure to drive anymore. We want to make it quick as hell, but fun to drive, and a nice riding, beautiful Mustang that can be delivered today. So yeah, we're constantly tuning the car. We're constantly trying to find different pieces in the vehicle to make it better for the consumer, because not only do we love doing it, we love our customers too. We want them to enjoy the experience that we work so hard for here at STEEDA.